In this video, I'm going to talk about my iPhone XR and what I like about it, what I don't like about it, so that you can know whether or not you should get it in 2021. I've been using it ever since it came out, and it's been a fantastic phone for me, and I still like it to this day. That's why I still have it as my main phone. However, there are a few things that I don't like about it that I'm kind of starting to figure out as time goes on. That just happens as technology gets better and older technology gets worse and you need to move on and whatnot. I'm starting to get to that point, but I'm not there quite yet. But the main issue for me isn't what you think. If you went and bought an iPhone XR right now in this year, 2021, it'd be a great buy. But the reason my iPhone XR in particular isn't a great buy for me right now, the reason it's feeling dated, isn't what you think. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the iPhone XR and whether or not it invest your hard-earned cash into the iPhone XR and whether or not it's a great buy of a phone right now, or if you should go with something else. I think it's still a great buy, and I'll get into the details of it right now. First and foremost, the phone is extremely fast still. I still feel like everything opens very quickly and it's efficient. There's no issues with any apps slugging along. I feel like, honestly, between the iPhone XR all the way up to the new iPhone 12, they all open very quickly and speedily, and it's all great. I love the interface and everything works great. Apps open fast, run smoothly. No issues with it whatsoever. The speed, I would not be concerned about the speed if you're looking to get an iPhone XR. The camera and video quality of the iPhone XR is still superb in my mind for a phone, especially that you're carrying around with you all the time, and it's not primarily a video camera or a camera. It has a function of that, but it is also a web browser, a phone, and something that you can text on, and as your navigator for finding out where the heck you are in the world so you can know where to drive to and whatnot. It does so many things, and one extremely good thing that it also does is being a camera and video camera. It still does great with that. I'm going to be switching this video right now to this video so that you can see what it looks like on the iPhone XR and how good a quality it is. And there we have it. Now I am talking to the iPhone XR, and you can see that it is of very good quality. I'm very happy with this phone and how good it is for the price. You can get it for fairly cheap nowadays in 2 years after it's been the mainstream phone. And even then, this isn't the best of the best phone when it came out. It was a lower tiered model of the best phone. And so in reality, you can't go wrong with this phone for the price that you can get it for. I also really like the size of the phone. It's a solid size. It's not too big, not too small. I like the size of the phone so that I can see clearly the screen, and it's just a good size for me. At the same time, this phone, I don't feel super comfortable holding it with just one hand, but two-handed use is great, and one hand for just calling and whatnot is great. Screen-to-body ratio is great. It has the notch at the top, but that's no big deal. That's kind of standard for even up until the iPhone 12, the latest phone. Hopefully in the iPhone 13, we don't have that anymore, but as it is, it's in every iPhone, so it's not that big of a deal. It's a notch, but the screen-to-body ratio is very good. I like it a lot, especially compared to older iPhones. It's doing great in that department. This goes without saying, but the iPhone XR has been around for a very long time now, which means there's tons of accessories for the iPhone XR, and you can go get really anything you've ever wanted for it because there's tons and tons of different phone cases, screen protectors, all the different fun things you can get for an iPhone. You can get it for this phone because it's been out long enough. The newer phones, the companies have to produce all the new accessories for them when they come out, especially if they get a new design. And that's one nice thing of having a phone that's been out for a few years, that all the companies made everything they're going to be making for it, so you can go and get those accessories for it. When you first buy it, the battery life is incredible. I was blown away by the battery life because it lasted consistently way more than a day's worth of usage. Even when I used it a ton, I was looking at YouTube videos, using it as a video camera. It lasted the whole day, and by the end of the day, I still had like 30 or 40% of the battery, which is insane in my mind for phones nowadays because, as you know, the batteries in phones aren't that great. The technology isn't that advanced, and they die relatively quickly. Now, of course, you get the fast charging and whatnot, but I'm not a fan of charging my phone throughout the day. I want it to just work for at least a full day so that at the end of the day, I can just charge it up when I go to sleep, and it's ready to go the next day. And that's what I had in the iPhone XR when I first bought it. So when you first buy it, it's incredible. There's no problems at all, and it lasts for a solid year and a half, 2 years, and the battery still is running great. Now, at this point in my iPhone XR's life, it is starting to wear down the battery. I have to put the brightness of the screen down so that it doesn't take up as much battery and whatnot, and I do have to charge it here and there throughout the day, just depending if I'm using it more, if I'm watching more YouTube videos and whatnot. Then I do have to, have to charge it an extra time throughout the day, which isn't annoying, but it's not that bad, and I've had it for over 2 years. So in reality, yeah, it's a pro and con. Not really. It's actually a pro when you buy the phone brand new. But to keep in mind, if you're going to go buy it used somewhere, if you're buying someone else's iPhone XR, keep that in mind. The battery life has been said to be great by tons of YouTubers, by everyone, but that's for a brand new phone. Of course, when a phone gets older, the battery doesn't have as good of lifespan and it doesn't hold a charge as well. So keep that in mind when you buy a used iPhone XR. You might want to get a brand new for that reason, so that you don't have to worry about the battery life dying as quick. Incredible on this phone, and it still is incredible, is the face recognition. I have still seen Android phones that I have siblings that have Android phones that use face recognition, and it is nowhere near as good as the face recognition on the iPhone XR. And that is crazy to me because they have some of the latest Android phones that they make, and you would think the technology has been, refined at this point, but it goes to show you that the iPhone really nailed it, especially with iPhone XR. It has a great facial recognition. Even when I have the lights off or anything like that and I need to turn on my phone, the light from the phone will illuminate my face and it can unlock it just from my face. I don't have to type in my code or anything like that. Now, something that it is noticeable, especially, as time goes on, you notice it more and more, seeing other people's phones. I notice that the screen resolution, it's decent. It definitely is passable, and it's not that bad when I'm not really comparing it to other phones all the time. I'm just using it myself. I don't notice it that much, but I do know the screen resolution isn't great. I would like it to be bumped up to at least 1080p. It's not even that in the iPhone XR, but it's definitely passable. The nice thing about having a lower screen resolution is it does contribute to a better battery life as well. Having the lower screen resolution, the battery doesn't have to power as many pixels, which means you're going to have a phone that lasts longer. So you have to have a give and take of screen resolution to battery life. And for me, it really has been great. I really love the battery life. So it probably is in that sweet spot, but I feel like in today's day and age, it's nice to get a little bump up in resolution. Everything becomes more streamlined. I feel like that both of them should go up, battery life as well as screen resolution. So that's one thing that is a little dated in this phone, is the screen resolution to battery life ratio, I'd say. And the last little gripe with this phone is, and I feel like that hasn't been changed, it hasn't been changed in any of the phones, is the heftiness of it, the weight of it. It is a hefty phone. It's solid, and I don't like a super heavy phone. Sure, it leads to it feeling more like a premium device, which, sure, yeah, it feels like a nice premium device, but the weight is annoying to a certain extent, and I'd like a phone that same screen to body ratio, same size and whatnot, but just less weight. If I can have that, I would really like that. If you can make that a reality, that would be great, because I feel like all of the iPhones are very hefty for the size that they are. It feels like I'm holding a very solid brick in my hand, which is annoying to a certain extent, but it is what it is. We'll see if any company ever changes that, particularly Apple. I don't see it happening for a long time, if ever. So that's just one thing to keep in mind as well. Would I buy an iPhone XR in the year 2021? Yeah, I probably would buy it again. If you're looking for a budget phone, then yeah, I absolutely would. It's essentially that at this point, a budget phone. You can get it for around $400, and you're not really compromising on anything. It has great everything. It's going to keep working great for at least 2 or 3 more years. Probably a lot more than that. But thanks for coming by. I hope this video was helpful for you, and we'll see you in the next one. Later.